Good morning, children. I'm your SAJ sir. So here we go to the third value of the chapter, branch accounts. So in the last class, we learned how to prepare the branch account. Remember, opening assets will be taken on debit side, and opposite to that, the closing assets will be taken on credit side. There is a balance carried down, balance brought down. Opening liabilities of the branch will be taken on credit side, and opposite to this, debit side, closing values of the liabilities will be taken. Leaving this, what will come? Only this, goods sent to branch, both the sides you can find. What is this goods sent to branch? These are goods which are being sent by the head office to the branch, and the goods returned by the branch to the head office is taken on credit side. And again, bank account you can find both the places it is being there. So what is this bank account? It is the cash received from the head office. This is cash remitted to the head office. Okay, so these are the entries, and ultimately whatever the difference will be considered as a profit or loss, right? And I've told you, apart from this branch account, sometimes you may have to prepare a debtors account. And when you have to prepare a debtors account, that also I've told you. If these items are missing, which are the three items, that is opening debtors, closing debtors, or cash received from debtors. If any of these is missing, then you have to prepare a debtors account and take that particular balance to the branch account. So these are the maximum accounts that you need to prepare. Well, we shall see how to proceed with. And I've told you already, this is a very simplest chapter. Please don't leave. We'll consider the first question. Bombay head office has a branch in Madras by which goods are invoiced at cost. This is the hint for us, wherein we are solving the problems under the first method, where goods are being invoiced at cost. Never forget. Okay. And here you can notice which is the head office, Bombay head office, wherein it has a branch at Madras. Now what you are supposed to prepare? You are supposed to prepare a Madras branch account. Okay. In the books of Bombay head office, you need to prepare Madras branch account. So the stock at cost on 1/4/16 is given. So whatever this is being given, this is the opening stock. 1/4 you can find. Okay, because closing date is 31/3/17. Thus, this becomes the opening date. So on opening date, whatever the items are there, all these you have to take on debit side as balance brought down. So you can notice that is what yesterday I told you in the last class. All opening balances will be taken on debit side. Now there are three assets like that. Which are the three? One is a opening stock, petty cash, as well as plant. Okay, so these three are the opening assets to be taken on debit side. This is stock when it is there 31/3/17. So closing stock. This has to be taken on credit side as balance carried down. Then goods sent to branch. Goods sent to branch. This is an item to be taken on debit side. You can find goods sent to branch. Always whatever the goods being sent by the head office to the branch will be taken on debit side. So next, petty expenses paid by the branch out of imprest. This is the key term for us. Be careful. Imprest antandaga. The opening balance, closing balance ಏನಿರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ. See, petty cash is how much opening balance? 800. So closing balance 800 maintain ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಇದನ್ನ 700 ನಾವೆಲ್ಲಿ ತಗೋಬೇಕು? Assume this is the amount of expenditure which is being sent by the head office to the branch ಅಂತ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. Though it is being paid by the branch, no doubt, but for this the amount is being sent by the head office. Therefore, it will be taken on debit side as like this. Bank account, amount of check or whatever the cash being sent by the head office to the branch for various expenses. So ಅದರ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ನೀವು ಈ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಯಾವ್ದನ್ನ ತಗೋಬೇಕು? This 700 should be taken. Hope you have understood. ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಪ್ಪಾ, by chance if this imprest is being removed also. Now what is the treatment? Okay. Now what is the treatment? Out of this 800, how much is going out? 700 is going out. that is being spent. So what will be the remaining? Only 100 will be remaining. That will be taken as closing cash. ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಆದ್ರೆ ಈಗ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಬೇರೆ ಇದೆ. ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ಅವನು ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಓಪನಿಂಗ್ ಕ್ಲೋಸಿಂಗ್ ಸೇಮ್ ತಗೋಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ. ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಓಪನಿಂಗ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಕ್ಲೋಸಿಂಗ್ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ಟೇಕನ್ ದ ಸೇಮ್. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆಂಡಿಚರ್ ಮೇಡ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಫಾರ್ ದಟ್ ದ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಬಿಂಗ್ ಸೆಂಟ್ ಬೈ ದ ಹೆಡ್ ಆಫೀಸ್ ಅಂತ ಅಸ್ಯೂಮ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಟೇಕ್ 700 on debit side. Next, expenses paid by head office 5,000. Expenses paid by head office 5,000. So along with this 5,000, you take even 700 also on debit side under the head bank account. Cash sales during the year. This is the remittances. So will be taken on credit side. Ilta bank account remittances. So cash sales, collections from debtors. Ivella credit side togol items. So ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಇದನ್ನ credit side ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ write off depreciation on plant at 20% per annum ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಈಗ ಓಪನಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ 10,000. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ 20% ಮೈನಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. Then that becomes a closing plant because you are aware depreciation is not directly written in the branch account. Okay, it is shown indirectly. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಓಪನಿಂಗ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಮತ್ತೆ ಕ್ಲೋಸಿಂಗ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ತಗೊಂಡಾಗ ಆಟೋಮೆಟಿಕ್ ಆಗಿ ಆ ಡೆಪ್ರಿಸಿಯೇಷನ್ ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅದನ್ನ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ಆ ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿ ಅಥವಾ ಆ ಒಂದು ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಹೆಂಗ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ವೆಲ್ you take now in the books of head office. Which is the head office? It is Bombay head office. So in the books of Bombay head office, you can take Madras branch account. Heading the Madras branch account. Okay, so take all the details. Start with the opening balance brought down. See, balance brought down ಅಂತ ತಗೊಂಡಾಗ ಹೇಳಿದ್ನಲ್ಲ ಬರೀ ಓಪನಿಂಗ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಸೆಟ್ಸ್ ಯು ಟೇಕ್. ವಿಚ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಓಪನಿಂಗ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಸೆಟ್ಸ್? ಹಿಯರ್ ದೇರ್ ಆರ್ 3 assets. ವಿಚ್ ಆರ್ ದೇ? ಸಿ, ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್, ಸ್ಟಾಕ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಪೆಟಿ ಕ್ಯಾಶ್. ಇವು ಮೂರನ್ನು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಎಂಟ್ರಿ ಮಾಡಿ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ 2 ಅಂತ ಬೇಡ, ಒಂದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೆಡ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಏನದು? ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಬ್ರಾಡ್ ಡೌನ್ ಗೆ ಹೆಡ್ 2. ಇನ್ನು ಮಿಕ್ಕಿದೆಲ್ಲ ಆ ಹೆಡ್ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಬರ್ಕೊಂತ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ ನೀವು. ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಬ್ರಾಂಚ್ ಸ್ಟಾಕ್ ಒಂದು, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಪೆಟಿ ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ ಒಂದು 800, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಅದೆಷ್ಟಿದೆ 10,000. ಸೊ ಈ 3 ಐಟಮ್ಸ್ ನ ನೀವು ಯಾವ ಹೆಡ್ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಬರ್ಕೊಂತ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ? ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಬ್ರಾಡ್ ಡೌನ್ ಬರ್ಕೊಂತ. ಹಾಗೇನೆ ಯು ಸರ್ಚ್ ಫಾರ್ ಆರ್ ದೇರ್ ಎನಿ ಲಯಬಿಲಿಟೀಸ್ ಹಿಯರ್? ಓಪನಿಂಗ್ ಲಯಬಿಲಿಟೀಸ್? ನೋ ಓಪನಿಂಗ್ ಲಯಬಿಲಿಟೀಸ್. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಬರೋದು. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ವಾಟ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಸಿ ದಿಸ್ ಗೂಡ್ಸ್ ಸೆಂಟ್ ಟು ಬ್ರಾಂಚಸ್ ದೇ. ದಿಸ್ ಯು ಟೇಕ್ ಆನ್ ಡೆಬಿಟ್ ಸೈಡ್. ಈ ಸ್ಟಾಕ್ ಕ್ಲೋಸಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಟಾಕ್ ಆಮೇಲೆ ನೋಡೋಣ, ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟ್ ಸೈಡ್ ತಗೋಬೇಕು. ಈಗ ಗೂಡ್ಸ್ ಸೆಂಟ್ ಟು ಬ್ರಾಂಚ್, ದಿಸ್ ಯು ಟೇಕ್ ಆನ್ ಡೆಬಿಟ್ ಸೈಡ್. To goods sent to branch 50,000. Then these 2 items, that is petty expenses as well as the expenses paid by the head office. So that you take up as to bank. So under that you write separately the expenses paid by the head office as well as petty cash. So these 2 you can take to out column 5,700. Okay. Next, what is there? Here, cash sales is there. This I told you take on credit side. Under the head bank account. By bank account, that is a remittances 70. Okay. By balance carried on closing values. Again opening values ide, adu matteno closing values agirutte. Adre amounts bere agirutte. That you have to be careful. Right, again on credit side, branch stock, but illi branch closing stock kottane 7,000. Petty cash ಏನು ತಗೋಬೇಕು? ಪೆಟಿ ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ಹೇಳಿದೆ ನಾನು. ಇಂಪ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನೋ ವರ್ಡ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ 800 ಕ್ಲೋಸಿಂಗ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ 800 ತಗೋರಿ. ಆಯ್ತಾ? ದೆನ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ತಗೋಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು? ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಈ 10,000 ಏನಿದೆ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ -20%. ಸೊ -20% ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು 8,000. ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಈಗ ನೋಡಿ, ಇದು ಓಪನಿಂಗ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಹೆಂಗಿದೆ? 10,000. ಕ್ಲೋಸಿಂಗ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ? 2,000. ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಈಗ ಇವೆರಡಕ್ಕೂ ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಸ್ ಏನ್ ಬಂತು? 2,000. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಸ್. ಓಪನಿಂಗ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ 10, ಕ್ಲೋಸಿಂಗ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ 8,000. ಸೊ ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಸ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಗೆಟಿಂಗ್ 2,000. ಆ 2,000 ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ? ಡೆಬಿಟ್ ಸೈಡ್. ಆಯ್ತಾ? ನಾವು ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಡೆಪ್ರಿಸಿಯೇಷನ್ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ರೆ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ವಿ? ಡೆಬಿಟ್ ಸೈಡ್ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಟು ಡೆಪ್ರಿಸಿಯೇಷನ್ ಆನ್ ಪ್ಲಾನ್. ರೈಟ್, 10,000 to 20%, 2,000 ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎಂಟ್ರಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ವಿ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಹಂಗ್ ಮಾಡೋಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಯಾಕೆಂತಾರೆ ಬ್ರಾಂಚ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ವಿ ಟೇಕ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ depreciation indirectly. Opening values are taken on credit side, debit side, and closing values are taken on credit side. Ultimately, you are recording the amount of depreciation or appreciation, whatever it is. Okay, ಇದು ಆಮೇಲೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ ಲೈಕ್ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದಟ್, ಈ ಪೆಟ್ಟಿ ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ ದೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕೇರ್ಫುಲ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೇಕು ಆಯ್ತಾ. ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ, ಈ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ 800, ಈ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ 2 ಸೇಮ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಏನಾಯ್ತು, ಡ್ಯೂರಿಂಗ್ ದ ಇಯರ್ 700 ರೂಪಾಯಿ 700 ರೂಪೀಸ್ ಸ್ಪೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಯಾರು, ಬ್ರಾಂಚ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜರ್. ಅದೇ 700 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಯಾರು ಕಳಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಹೆಡ್ ಆಫೀಸ್ ಕಳಿಸಿದೆ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಅಸ್ಯೂಮ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಆ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ವೇರ್ ದ ಓಪನಿಂಗ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಕ್ಲೋಸಿಂಗ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ petty cash is maintained same. Otherwise, whatever the amount of expenditure made by the branch will be returned by the head office. That is the meaning. Okay. Supposing ಈ ವರ್ಡ್ ಇರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಇರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಆವಾಗ ನೀವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು ಗೊತ್ತಾ, ರೈಟ್. ಈ 800 ಅಲ್ಲಿ 700 ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆಂಡಿಚರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಕ್ಲೋಸಿಂಗ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಎಷ್ಟಿರುತ್ತೆ ನಿಮಗೆ, ಬರೀ 100 ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಕ್ಲೋಸಿಂಗ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. So this is the treatment. ಯಾವಾಗ if that word interest is not there, see this ಎಷ್ಟು ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ, 800 ಆ 800 ಅಲ್ಲಿ 700 ಖರ್ಚಾಗಿದೆ, ಇನ್ನು ಉಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿರುವಂತದ್ದು ಎಷ್ಟಿರುತ್ತೆ 100 ಆಯ್ತಾ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನೋ ವರ್ಡ್ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಆಯ್ತಾ, ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಟೇಕ್ 800 ಓನ್ಲಿ. ಯಾಕಿದೆ 800? ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದೇರ್, ವಿಚ್ ಇಂಪ್ಲೈಸ್ ರೈಟ್ ಈ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ 700 ಅಲ್ಲ, 700 ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆಂಡಿಚರ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಔಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈ 800 ರೂಪೀಸ್ ಏನಿದೆ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ 700 ಖರ್ಚು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾನೆ, ಬಟ್ ಅದೇ 800 ಮತ್ತೆ ಉಳ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಈಗ ನೀವು ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ದ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ credit side amount is more, so difference you are getting on debit side, that amount is 11,300. Okay, what is the difference? 11,300. Since you are getting on debit side, okay, I have given this particular symbol for a difference. Okay, therefore debit side, whatever the difference you are getting, assume that is to be as a net profits. Okay, where it is being transferred? It is being transferred to general profit and loss account. I told you yesterday in the last volume why it is called as general profit and loss account, because head office has to prepare one more final accounts separately for the entire establishment together. ಆ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಲಾಸ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುವಾಗ ಈ ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರತಿ ಬ್ರಾಂಚ್ ಇಂದ ಬಂದಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, then pause down and you can write the answers. Step by step ಬರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಿ, ಒಂದೇ ಸತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬರ್ಕೊಳಕ್ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಡ್ರಿ. again you go back and keep on writing step by step. ಯಾಕೆಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಒಂದ್ 2-3 ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ಗೆ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ತಗೊಂತೀವಿ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆಮೇಲೆ ನೀವು ಬೇರೆ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ಬರ್ಕೊಂತ ಹೋಗ್ಬೋದು. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಅದನ್ನ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ ಬೈ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಯು ಗೋ. wherein first entry is which one? Balance drawn down. Okay, ಆಮೇಲೆ goods sent to branch. Next, bank account is the expenditure, so you move. ಅದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ come to the credit side, ಅಲ್ಲಿ remittances ಬರೀರಿ, closing values of the stock, assets ಬರ್ಕೊಡ್ರಿ, ಆಮೇಲೆ find out the total, the difference, transfer to the general profit and loss. So you can concentrate next to the second problem. The Bangalore Shoe Company has a branch at KGF. So Bangalore Shoe Company is the head office. That's why you can write in the books of Bangalore Shoe Company. What is that Bangalore Shoe Company? It is a head office. And KGF branch account. You have to prepare a KGF branch account. The following are the transactions between head office and the branch during the year 17-18. Stock at branch on 1/4/17. This is the opening stock. Take on debit side. This also petty cash. Take on debit side. Iveru debit side third. Opening the assets. So hagagi write on debit side as to balance draw down. Next, checks sent to branch. Checks sent to branch ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ sent by the head office to the branch. ಇದೆಲ್ಲಿ ಬರಬೇಕು? ಈ ರೀತಿ ಬರ್ಕೊಂಡ್ವಲ್ಲ ಡೆಬಿಟ್ ಸೈಡ್. ಯಾವುದು? ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಫಾರ್ ಸ್ಯಾಲರೀಸ್, ಫಾರ್ ರೆಂಟ್, ಫಾರ್ ಪೆಟಿ ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ ಆಯ್ತಾ, ಈ ಮೂರನ್ನು ಡೆಬಿಟ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಬರ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು ಅಂಡರ್ ದ ಹೆಡ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್. ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ ರೆಮಿಟೆಡ್ ಟು ಹೆಡ್ ಆಫೀಸ್. ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ ರೆಮಿಟೆಡ್ ಟು ಹೆಡ್ ಆಫೀಸ್ ಇದೆಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ? ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಇತ್ತು. ರೆಮಿಟೆನ್ಸಸ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ನಲ್ಲ, ರೈಟ್, ಬೈ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್. ದೆನ್ ಗೂಡ್ಸ್ ರಿಸೀವ್ಡ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಹೆಡ್ ಆಫೀಸ್. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ goods sent to branch, like this. you have to write on debit side. Then closing cash ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ, closing assets, that is stock and cash. This you can take on credit side. ಇದು ನೋಡಿ, ಇಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲೂ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ವರ್ಡ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ. ಹಾಗೂ ಒಂದ್ ವೇಳೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು ಕ್ಲೋಸಿಂಗ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ರೆ, ಕ್ಲೋಸಿಂಗ್ ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಅದೇ ತಗೋದು. You can understand what I'm saying? Where you are given the interest word, right? You can find here nowhere closing cash was given. But what we did in the first problem, we have taken the closing petty cash as 800. ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಬಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾನೆ, ಕ್ಲೋಸಿಂಗ್ ಪೆಟ್ಟಿ ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ ಅವನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾನೆ 150, ಓಪನಿಂಗ್ 200 ಇದೆ, ಕ್ಲೋಸಿಂಗ್ 150 ಇದೆ. ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಬಟ್ ಬೇರೆ ಎಲ್ಲೂ ಅವನೇನ್ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ, ಇಂಪ್ರೆಸ್ ಅನ್ನೋ ವರ್ಡ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ. ಹಾಗೂ ಒಂದ್ ವೇಳೆ ಅವ್ನು ಇಂಪ್ರೆಸ್ ವರ್ಡ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಈ ತರ ಸಪರೇಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಕೊಟ್ರೆ, ಓಪನಿಂಗ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಕ್ಲೋಸಿಂಗ್ ಪೆಟ್ಟಿ ಕ್ಯಾಶ್, ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಟೇಕ್ ದ ಸೇಮ್. ಆವಾಗ ಓಪನಿಂಗ್ ಇಟ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಕ್ಲೋಸಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತ ತಗೋಬಾರ್ದು. ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತಾ? ಈಗ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕ್ಲಾರಿಟಿ ಇದೆ ನೋಡಿ. ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ ದ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆಂಡಿಚರ್ ಬೀಂಗ್ ಮೇಡ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಗಿವನ್ ಸಪರೇಟ್ಲಿ. ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಅಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದಟ್, ಓಪನಿಂಗ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಕ್ಲೋಸಿಂಗ್ ಪೆಟ್ಟಿ ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ ಇಸ್ ಗಿವನ್ ಸಪರೇಟ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ಯು ಟೇಕ್ ಆಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಗಿವನ್. Okay, so when you should be very alert when closing petty cash is not given, at that time you should be very alert. Okay, right. So you can start now on debit side. To balance brought down, which are the opening balances, only these two. Okay, so petty cash and stock, those two you can write. Okay, next what is that? You have to take this goods sent to branch. Okay, this you can take on debit side. To goods sent to branch, 13,000. Then to bank account for all the expenses, which are the three expenses: salaries, rent and petty cash or petty expenses. So that on debit side. Okay, those three totals 3,300 column. Next you record this cash remitted right on debit side. By bank account, remittances, 18,000. Balance carried, which are the two balances: stock and petty cash, 1,000 and 150. These two you can take to account. That's so simple. Okay. Now find the difference. Total 19,150. More on credit side, so difference you will be getting on debit side. Write that as profits being transferred to general profit and loss account. Pause it down. Well, we'll go for a next problem. Problem number 3. The Prakash Enterprises has a branch at Kolar. The following are the transactions between the head office and the branch during the year 2021. On 1/4/20, what was the opening stock? 40,000. And petty cash on 1/4/20 is given as question mark. So this is the amount which you have to gather, obtain as a working note. Goods sent to branch, take on debit side. Goods returned to head office, be careful. Return to head office will go on credit side. ಯಾವತ್ತು goods sent to branch ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಅದು ಡೆಬಿಟ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಆಯ್ತಾ? ರಿಟರ್ನ್ ಬಂದು ತೀರಾ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಅದು ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಬರ್ಕೋಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. Then cash sales to branch at a branch, ಇದು remittances ಗೆ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ, credit side. Then cash sent to branch for various expenses, this will be there on debit side. Petty expenses incurred at the branch is given separately, 6,000. Okay, so what to do with this, I'll let you know. Okay, stock you can take on credit side. This is the closing stock. Petty cash is given. This is the closing petty cash is given. Okay, so be careful. What is not given then? Opening is not given. What is not given? Opening value of petty cash is not given. Normally what we enter, this is the petty cash which is being sent by the head office, that is taken, and closing and opening. You ಮೂರು ಇತ್ತು ಅಂತಾರೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಸಾಕು. ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಆದ್ರೆ ಈ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗಿದೆಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಓಪನಿಂಗ್ ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾನೆ, ಬಟ್ ಓಪನಿಂಗ್ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ, that we shall have a simple understanding how to go ahead with. Okay, think that today you have started to go to some place. ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಒಂದು ಬ್ಯಾಂಗ್ಳೂರ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಅಪ್ಪ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡೋದು, ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಪಾಕೆಟ್ ಮನಿ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕಾ ಇಲ್ವಾ ನೀವು? ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಖರ್ಚು ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಸೇ ದಟ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಎ ಪಾಕೆಟ್ ಮನಿ ಆಫ್ 1,000 with you. Alright, ಇವಾಗ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ 1000 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಇದೆ and today you are leaving to Bangalore. So you ask your dad, give me a money so that I can spend the amount there because I have some work, right? I need to purchase some items, right? So your dad gave you, right, 4,000. Now what is the total cash with you? You have totally 5,000 with you. Then you went to Bangalore and came down, right? After all calculations you could find totally amount being spent by you is 3,000. ಎಷ್ಟು ಖರ್ಚು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನೀವು 3,000 ಖರ್ಚು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಈಗ ಎಷ್ಟು ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಇರಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ you should have only 2,000 as the closing balance. Can you understand this? Think this is not given. Assume which is not given. The opening balance amount 1,000 is not there with you. Tell me, how do you get now? How do you get back this 1,000 now? This is the information given to you. How do you get this 1,000 out here? So simple. This 2,000, add back to that whatever the amount that you have spent. So 2 plus 5, 2 plus 3, it becomes 5. Then from 5,000, what you have to deduct? Whatever the amount given to you by your father, that you deduct. Balance gives you opening balance. Okay. Normally, how this is being taken? Opening balance plus whatever the amount that you have received minus spent gives you closing balance. Now everything is reverse. Closing balance plus the amount spent minus the amount received gives you opening balance. Okay, the same logic is being adopted here to obtain the, what is that? Opening balance. Okay, that we shall see with the problem, right? Well, so start with the opening cash first to balance problem. First we will write all this in the books of Prakash Enterprises because that is a head office. Okay, Kolar branch account that is being given as a branch at Kolar, so Kolar branch account. Take on the debit side to balance brought down. Okay, so balance brought down you can take branch stock. Branch stock is given. How much is the branch stock given here? 40,000. So that 40,000 you can enter. Then petty, branch petty cash. Okay, this is what, how to get, I've told you, right? Go for a separate working note here. Opening petty cash, how it is being calculated. So how do you get the, normally closing petty cash, how do you get? Opening petty cash plus cash sent for petty expenses from the head office minus the petty expenses incurred. This is a regular formula. How do you get the closing value? Opening balance plus whatever the amount received minus the amount spent. Okay, that's formula now adopt. Opening value plus the cash received minus spent, that is the expenditure made. Okay, ಈಗ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ನಮಗೆ ಏನೇನು ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಮಾತ್ರ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. What and all you note here? See 2,500 closing value is given. Take that 2,500. Okay, opening cash we doesn't know. Make it as X. Then 4,000 cash sent, that is given 4,000 rupees. Right. This is the 4,000 spent, and what is the expenditure? 6,000. Right. So find out the difference ultimately. You're getting X. You take this side. Okay, there is an unknown value. Then 4,000 as it is. If 2,500 ikade bantu andre enagutte adu minus agutte. Athwa ನೀವು ಈ ಕಡೆ ಇವೆರಡನ್ನು ಹಿಂಗೆ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಈ minus 6,000 ಈ ಕಡೆ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ, 4,000 ಈ ಕಡೆ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಹಿಂಗೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ನಿಮಗೆ ಅಲ್ಟಿಮೇಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಏನು ಬರುತ್ತೆ ನಿಮಗೆ 4,500 rupees difference ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನೋಡಿ. Okay, right? What I am doing? Right, 4,000 if you send this side it becomes minus. ಈ minus ಇರೋದು ಈ ಕಡೆ ಬಂತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಆಯ್ತಾ? So 2,500 plus 6,000 minus 4,000. What is this 2,500 closing value? What is this 6,000? This is the amount spent minus received. ಇದೇ ನಾನು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದು ನಾನು ಏನದು ಕ್ಲೋಸಿಂಗ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಸ್ಪೆಂಟ್, ರೈಟ್? 2 plus 3 5 minus actually received 4,000. See that spent amount ಇದೇನಿದೆಲ್ಲ ಸ್ಪೆಂಟ್ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಕ್ಲೋಸಿಂಗ್ ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ ಆಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ರಿ, ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಮೈನಸ್ ರಿಸೀವ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ರಿ, ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಶೀಟ್ 4,000. So now this 4,500 you can enter here. Hope you have understood how you are getting a opening petty cash. So next you can continue with other items. Goods sent to branch 50,000. That is amount being spent 50,000. Next you can take bank expenses these three amounts you can take one after the other: salaries, rent and petty cash. So that gives you 19,000. Next, petty expenses incurred. Now don't take anyway because we require only these three amounts. Petty cash received ಅನ್ನೋದು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದಿದ್ರೆ you would have taken this itself as the actual received amount ಅಂತ. So ಹಾಗಾಗಿ petty expenses made, please don't take now. Next you go for the remittances. Is given 90,000 is the remittances. Then the closing cash and stock. ಇಲ್ಲಿ goods sent to branch ಇದೆ, ಇದು returned ಆಯ್ತಾ. ಇದು credit side ತಗೋಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. Received is taken on debit side, but returned is taken on credit side. Okay, and closing values of stock and branch petty cash is taken. Now find the totals. So totals 1,40,500. Credit side again more. So difference you are getting on debit side. Assume that is the amount. Illi idondu mistake ಇದೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಆನ್ಸರ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. It is changed as 27,000. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಆನ್ಸರ್ wrong ಇದೆ, ಅದು 29 ಇದೆ. It is changed as 27,000 units. Okay. So pause it down and you can write it. Either basis ಮೇಲೆ ಈ problem, fourth problem is your homework problem. You have to do by yourself. Okay. Opening stock is there, debit side ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ. The goods sent to branch, debit side. Petty cash at branch, ಇದು opening value, debit side. As balance brought down, ಅದರ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಬರ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಈ ಎರಡು items. Cash sales at the branch, ಇದನ್ನ credit side ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ. That is a remittances. Goods returned by the branch, ಇದು credit side ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ. Same head. By goods sent to branch, ಎರಡು ಕಡೆನೂ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. goods sent to branch, ಇದು returned ಅಂತ ಬರೀಬೇಡ್ರಿ. ನೋಡಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಆಯ್ತಾ, goods heading is the same. goods sent to branch, ಇಲ್ಲಿ goods sent to branch, ಎರಡು ಕಡೆ ಒಂದೇನೆ ಆಯ್ತಾ. ಬಟ್ goods returned ಅನ್ನೋದು ವಿತ್ ಇನ್ ಬ್ರಾಕೆಟ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತೋರಿಸಿದೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಆಯ್ತಾ. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ ಸೆಂಟ್ ಟು ಬ್ರಾಂಚ್ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆನ್ಸಸ್, ಈ ಮೂರು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆನ್ಸಸ್ ಏನಿದೆ ಇವೆಲ್ಲನೂ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಡೆಬಿಟ್ ಸೈಡ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ ಇದೇ ರೀತಿ. ಓಕೆ. Then stock at branch, this is the closing stock credit side. Petty cash ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾನೆ, so you need not to bother. Same as like in the previous column, which we have not taken about the petty expenses incurred. ಅದು ಏನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾನೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ to only calculate this opening petty cash ಗೆ calculate ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಈಗ you need not to bother about that because you are clearly given the opening petty cash as well as the closing petty cash also is given. Along with that, what you are given also the amount sent by the head office for meeting the petty expenses. Even that also is being given. Okay. So very simple. So try completing this. Right. We shall see in the next class.